Welcome to another episode of the Chief Champ, the 100% mobile podcast where we talk about life, money in context because everything costs you something. This is brought to us by Stress Money Less, stressmoneyless.com. If you have questions about financial literacy, budgeting, credit, all one stop shop, go to stressmoneyless.com. And thank you to our sponsor, Cheap Not Broke. How's everybody doing? What's up? I'm on the road, as you see, out in the bush in Florida right now. And man, let me tell you, it's been a crazy week, but we're still back. I was in Puerto Rico recently, and let me tell you, I skipped the episode. I feel terrible about that. Well, actually, I didn't. It was just bad quality. I left my microphone at home. I couldn't do it. So, man, I apologize for that, but we're back at it. But today we're talking about neglecting your business because that's what I've been doing. I've neglected my business. Here's why. Why have I neglected my business? Because my business right now is not my primary source of income. Therefore, that's why I haven't put as much time and effort to it. Now, I put a lot of time in building my business, a lot of time to it. Now, I'm not saying I haven't, I've been neglecting it like, I'm not there for my clients and I don't have everything going on. No, but I feel like I haven't been building on the process for it. The podcast, my lifestyle brand, stand up comedy, my job, those things have all been in front of the business, and the business is important. And I feel like I have not been putting the same amount of time in my business as other things. However, the business is what's going to yield me the most, which will bring me the most profit. However, it's not the most profitable right now. Therefore, I haven't been given as much time as I should be, and that's been costing me some money because I realized, man, my bank account got down to zero and I couldn't pay my bills in my business. So I had to transfer some money over. And let me tell you, I was doing it all backwards. I was driving all the way to the bank and I live by 10 miles from the bank. I don't know why I picked this bank. I do because they were cheaper. But the reason why I was having to drive all the way over there because I didn't have an external transfer set up. So I said, man, why don't I just get an external transfer set up and transfer the money over and take care of business and get this out the way. So I recently got that done, took care of that. That's out the way. And now I'm good to go. So I don't have to worry about paying bills, driving to the bank, put money in my business bank account. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't always make money. I don't make enough to cover my expenses every month through my business. That's my own fault because I need to do more marketing and I need to just do a hell of a lot more over there, but I'm also looking for some help and I'm working on the processes so I can hire somebody, bring somebody in and get some help. I only need about 5 hours a week, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week. That's nothing. If I can get somebody 2 hours a day, that'd be great. That'll help me out a lot. So that's what I'm in the process of doing this June. I'm looking for a virtual assistant. If you know one, please drop a comment below. Let me know. I'm looking for somebody to come in and help me with the process as far as with the marketing, help me set up my business flyers because I have to promote my work, my webinars every week, and I also have to put up just little tidbits and little sayings every month on the every other day on my Instagram page, just to keep people motivated and just also talk about credit budgeting and saving money because those three things you got to do because we got a rent memorandum coming up that's going to end and people are going to be out on the streets. And if you can provide a job or help somebody make some money, that's what I would like to do. But neglecting your business, man, it's a thing, especially when it's not your primary source of income. I can see how a person can take away from their business, like get with busy with family and whatnot, and things aren't going the way you want them to go, and that can be a problem. And that's not a problem that you want to have, but it's a problem that we run into. So it's like, well, man, how do I make sure I'm always putting time in my business? Because at the beginning, your business is probably not going to bring you a lot of money. Some people are lucky. Some people hit it big. They hit like millions of dollars first go around in their business or they get all this funding. I'm not one of those kind of people. Things have usually go slow for me. I had to figure things out. I always take the hard road because the easy road, if you take the hard road, you definitely can travel the easy road. If you travel the easy road, you may not make it down the hard road. So if I take it down the hard road, I can always get on the easy street. So I always tend to take the difficult way. But through the difficulties, I learn a lot. So I'm not taking it just because it's hard and I want to have a champion pin. I take the hard road. No, I'm taking it because I learn a lot. And in that, in those struggles, I learn a lot just about my business, and it's helping me figure out not neglect it. You have to put at least an hour or so a day in your business. You got to at least check the books, read the emails. You got to do something. Tell the person about your business. It's just important, even though you're not you may not be sitting there putting that 5 hours in, but just looking for that next client. Telling people about the new product that you have, asking people what are their marketing strategies. Those are the things that you can do to make sure you're not neglecting your business. So I had to sit down and really think about it. I said, okay, I'm not in my mind, I'm neglecting the business because I'm not doing the things I want to, but I am doing something. I'm still pushing forward. As long as the power's still on and the website's still up and people can still spend money, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what we got to do. Got to take care of business over there. Because one thing I'm doing, taking care of business, because I don't have to pay for this space. This space is free outside in the woods. It is nice. Out here in Florida, it's really hot. It doesn't cost me anything. But the podcast is important to me because I get to talk to people and people get to hear information from me. So I'm definitely not neglecting the podcast because I set a goal for the podcast. The goal is to go 56 weeks. I want to go 1 year shooting the podcast, no weeks off. And just because I didn't post doesn't mean I didn't do it. So I was in Puerto Rico and I left my microphone at home. And man, I'm mad about that because the background out there was amazing. But so is this. This is still a nice background. So I was upset about that, but I still recorded the podcast and I didn't realize that the quality was bad because just recorded through the laptop does not work. Nah, you got to have a microphone. And it also taught me another important thing. You need a checklist. And I didn't neglect to do that. I neglected to bring the microphone. So I had to change my process. Same thing with the business. If you're neglecting your business, change the process. Make sure if there's the important things you need to do, get them done on Mondays instead of doing it on Thursdays. If you know you go out on Thursdays, do networking, have fun, family time, whatever you do, make it get a day that the slow day, get the stuff done on the important this day that's slow because every day's not fast. I mean, come on, like, I know you got a slow day, a day that's kind of slow, and you might need to do it in the morning before work or after work, whatever. But you got to prioritize this stuff and make sure you're not neglecting your business because you're neglecting your business, you're leaving that money on the table, and you need that money. We need the money. I know I need the money. I'm trying to get some money. If you like these shirts, go to www.cheapnotbroke.com and purchase you get a Cheap Champ shirt if you like the shirts. But that's a whole nother story. But I appreciate your support. Neglecting. When you neglect stuff, if it's really important to you, you'll feel bad about it. Like, man, I haven't, like your friend that you don't hang out with, that you see all the time. When you get really busy, you don't talk to him, you don't see him, you hang out with him for a while. You start feeling bad about it because you're neglecting them. Same thing with the business. You should start feeling bad about it. Like, man, I'm not out there. It's not that you're not making money. I'm not helping the people. I'm not fulfilling my purpose. My purpose of starting a business was help people with financial literacy, help people understand credit, help people understand budgeting, and have a real conversation about it. And don't be so stressed out. Super simple. Look, we should be able to talk about money and you not being stressed out. Just because you don't have it doesn't mean you don't talk about it. There's a lot of things you don't have in life that you discuss. People talk about having kids before they have them, right? So you can talk about money before you have any. You got to plan ahead. It's all about planning ahead. You don't plan the time to get, plan what you're going to eat when you get the ingredients. You got to plan ahead. How can you have a recipe for something if you don't plan ahead? How are you going to do that? You have to plan ahead, know what you need to do, what you need to buy in the store. So when you go to the store, you can get it, right? So planning ahead is important. It keeps you from neglect. It keeps you from neglecting things. You can't neglect your pet. Number one, you'll go to jail. Number two, it's just bad. He'll poop all over your house, pee all over the house, and then he'll be all crazy when he sees you. When he goes outside, he's gonna be all crazy because you're neglecting him. You got to get him outside. Got to let him have some fun. Got to let him run and do all that other stuff. Neglect. Now I gotta look back. You got bears out here, baby. I don't want no bears to come out here and get me. But if you listen to the audio, I'm sitting outside in the woods. Go check it. Go. You can always, if you listen to it on audio, you can always go to YouTube, Cheap Not Broke podcast, or type in Cheap Not Broke, and it'll always pop up. So your choice. If you like the audio, great. If you like the video, whichever you want, but you can get both. But I just wanted to say, listen, don't neglect your business. Just make sure you put something in it. 5 minutes, contact somebody, check an email, send an email. Just do something every day so you don't feel like you're neglecting it. But I'm going to tell you, you'll know your bank account will tell you if you're neglecting your business or not. Nothing's going to be more of an indicator, are you neglecting your business or not, than your bank account. So that's going to definitely tell you the truth. But I just wanted to go on here because, I like to keep the ones with myself short and sweet. But neglecting your business. Don't neglect your business and don't neglect yourself. You can get so busy in the business, you might neglect yourself. You might forget, dang, be running around all doing all business stuff and forget about you, forget about your partner, your kids, or the other things that you're going on in life. So don't neglect things, and that is fixed by scheduling and prioritizing. So when you schedule, you prioritize, you tend not neglect things because you got it all figured out. You got everything going just like you needed to do. So thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Cheap Champ. we will be back next week with another guest. I am on the road in Florida. So, hey, if you haven't been to Florida, you should come check it out. Very hot, nice to hear all the birds chirping and outside. I'm not really worried about bears. We don't have bears, but we got other stuff that jump out the woods. So that's why I've been looking down a little bit. I don't want nobody to come out here and jump out on me. Hey man, the dude from the podcast, man, he's scared. He screamed like a girl. We don't want none of that to happen. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next week, take care and see you next time. Damn it.